thank you guys for being here this evening. Very excited to share with you all about the Earth Wisdom Mentorship Training. It's really exciting for me. I kind of feel like this is an honouring of Juliet 4.7, the new improved version. Each year we step deeper into ourselves, deeper into our purpose, deeper into our mission. And really, over this last year, I've been working very deeply with the earth and with all the work I've been doing, the accumulation of my lifetime's work is really come to this moment, which is why I'm super excited. So, what I feel is happening right now is the earth is activating. The vibration of the earth is increasing, and in that increasing, there's an activation of something ancient that is happening within us all. If we listen, if we have the eyes to see, the ears to hear, and the heart to feel. And so, what's come through over this last year? So, for the last 2 years, I've been running, 2 years ago, I ran the Plant Wisdom Mentorship, which was a year-long training on connecting to the wisdom of plants. And that evolved last year into the Earth Wisdom Mentorship. And there's a few people on here who are currently in the Earth Wisdom Mentorship. And so that journey this year, we're still in it, has been so beautiful for me to hold and share. And it was during the beginning of this year that it really came to me that I wanted to be able to train people. I wanted to be able to guide people to be able to offer this to others, because I feel like the time is now, that it's so important that we empower ourselves and each others to really step into this awakening that is happening all around us. And so that's where the Earth Wisdom Mentorship Training was born from, this desire to really be able to support people to live their passion. From a young age, when I was about 7, I really wanted to grow herbs. I had such a huge desire to grow herbs. My parents weren't really gardeners. They weren't really into nature. We had a lovely big garden, and we had a gardener who looked after the garden, and my parents did a bit, but they weren't kind of earthy people. And they weren't into foraging. They weren't into any of those things. So my desire and my connection to all of this came from somewhere deep within myself, this deep remembering of who I am. And so when I was 7, I asked for a part of the garden so I could grow herbs. And garlic was the first thing I grew. And I grew thyme and oregano and sage and rosemary, and I loved it. And I had such an affinity for it. And a lot of the time I was down the bottom of the garden making remedies out of rose petals or crushed up flowers, making concoctions. And that was where I was at my happiest, gathering from the garden and making things. And I feel really blessed that, my life is that now. I forage and gather and make and share that with others. The making is so much better when you get to share it. I've been running a growing nature club at my local school, and it's been such a beautiful experience. So yesterday we made a new batch. We made a batch of apple cider vinegar 4 weeks ago, which was so exciting. So we gathered apples and we made it into apple cider vinegar, which we decanted yesterday, and the kids tasted it, and it was incredible. It was the best apple cider vinegar I've ever tasted. Tasted a little bit cidery, but maybe fermented a little bit more than vinegar. Really beautiful. And everyone tasted that and loved it. And then we made a remedy from the herbs. And what's so incredible is one of the teachers came in and she bought a remedy from us, from the Growing Nature Club, in beginning of October. And she said, it's the first year I've not got sick with coughs or colds, and I'm taking your remedy every day. And that for me was such a powerful thing. The children all heard it. And the children are learning how to make these things. And I realized, the importance of not just children learning, but us, all of us, re-empowering ourselves with our connection to the earth and our connection to plants, remembering who we are, which are these beautiful beings as part of this earth. And so the Earth Wisdom Mentorship developed over this last year into a training. I've been working on how can I guide people to be able to guide others. So the more of us we start spreading this light around the planet so that everyone starts to wake up and realize what power we have within us. So the Earth Wisdom Mentorship training was really born over these decades of working with plants, with mushrooms, holding space, doing ceremonies. I've trained in many different healing modalities, all of which I bring into my work. But my work really is about that harmony with ourselves and with nature. And so when we feel that, we can share that with the world. So what is the Earth Wisdom Mentorship training? Well, really, it's guiding ourselves back to balance, to wholeness, to truth. And through that within us, guiding others into that same space. So the Earth Wisdom Mentorship is a chance to really allow the earth to speak to you. It's a chance to allow yourself to deepen your relationship with plants, with mushrooms, with trees, so you can really start embodying and bringing in these allies. So what I realized a while ago was, all around us are these allies, whether it's trees or plants or mushrooms or crystals or animals or people or archangels or guides. We have this whole host of support. But most of the time we don't ask for help. We don't call in that support, and we don't consciously make relationship. And when we do ask for help, it's a very one-way street. So what is so important when we start working with anything is reciprocity, bringing in and giving back. It's this whole cycle of always making sure that there is an exchange that is happening around you. And so really what the Earth Wisdom Mentorship is it's guiding you to become best friends with everything around you, so that you've got this amazing support of the earth when you need it. You can call in Rosemary, and when Rosemary needs you, Rosemary can call on you. So it's this two-way channel, as opposed to a lot of things in life, in the world that is around us, especially when we're looking at our relationship to nature. Oh, this has got this and this has got this, so I can take this and I can take this. And that's what we do, don't we? We take. I'm taking a supplement. I'm taking mushrooms. I'm taking this. But what does that word take mean? And so what I really feel the importance is, instead of taking, we're working with. I'm working with mushrooms. I'm working with this supplement. I'm working with. It's got a very different feel, doesn't it, to take? And so this is really what we're stepping into with the Earth Wisdom Mentorship. So we're weaving this connection on a spiritual level, but also on a practical level. We're learning how to embody skills into our being that a lot of people have forgotten. So the skills of communicating with the earth, communicating with ourselves, communicating with our body, listening to other people, and listening to their needs and what the earth and the plants are saying to them. If anyone's got any questions as we go, if you want to type them in the chat, or any comments about anything I'm saying, then please do type them in the chat. And at the end, I'll have a space for questions and answers if anyone's got any questions about anything I say. But do type them in the meantime, and I will see if I can answer anything that comes up. So these skills, embodying these skills, for me is one of the most important things. We're living in a world that is that's changing massively, and everything we know is kind of being shook up at the moment. And so ultimately, through all of the instability that is around us, what is stable? Well, the earth is stable. The plants are stable, the mushrooms are stable, the animals are stable, the trees are stable. I remember this super clearly when COVID happened, and we were hearing all this stuff around us about the end of the not the end of the world, but it felt like that from what the press were saying. Oh my gosh. And yet I looked out the window and the birds were still singing, and the hawthorn berries were coming up, and the world was still revolving, nature was still revolving. And in that moment I had this very clear insight that regardless of what's happening around us, when we look to nature, to our direct environment, what is happening? It's still going. The flowers are still flowering, the bees are still buzzing. We have this beautiful support around us that is unwavering. And especially if we put love into that, it's even more unwavering. That love that we give to our natural environment just grows. It's like when I work with the kids in the school, last week we spent an hour just sweeping up. And what all those leaves will do is make compost for next year, so that we have more that we can then grow. But we created space for hedgehogs to go into the leaves. We created all these beautiful things in the environment, so it looks beautiful, but it's also feeding into us growing more things. And so the more input we can have in our natural environment, the more it grounds us into where we are, which is so important. Where am I now? We spend most of our time in the past and in the future, but actually, where am I now? And this is part of the Earth Wisdom training, is actually, where am I? What is around me in my environment? What plants are around me? How can I work with the environment that I am in at the moment? And that applies to any environment. You don't have to live in the countryside and have a big garden. Everywhere there is nature that we can connect to. So the Earth Wisdom Mentorship training begins in February, and it's a journey over 12 months. And each month we look at two things. So we look at a plant and a tree, or an animal and a mushroom. And we spend 2 weeks on each thing, connecting to it, really diving into how it works. So that's what we're currently doing with the Earth Wisdom Mentorship at the moment. But this extra element of the training means that there is a third session each month. And that third session is focusing on that embodiment. How can I then work with the knowledge I'm getting and the connection I'm getting to then take this out to the wider world? So how do I hold space? How can I create sacred space? How can I work with people in that space? How can I write my own lesson plans? How can I hold a ceremony? How can I make remedies to share with others? How can I listen to someone and be guided by the earth to support them through whatever it is? Each month you get sent a little goodie box, which is linked to whatever we're doing, so that you have tools to connect with that plant, mushroom, animal, or tree for that month, so that you have a physical representation, whether that's a flower essence, whether that's a tincture, whether that's the actual herbs to make the things yourself. So you have the physical thing. Each month you get handouts, videos, guided meditations, and with this extra training element you also get worksheets to work through to deepen your knowledge of what we're talking about. There's a private group where you can share your feedback, how you're getting on, where everything's posted, so it's all together, so it's very easy to find and also to communicate what you need. Now, part of this training, which is super exciting, is that after 6 months doing the training, you can start working as a student Earth Wisdom mentor and get insurance under my insurance, so that you can go out there and start working, holding space in whatever form you want to do that in. I'm going to go into that a little bit more in a minute. So you can run your circles, you can run one-to-one sessions, but you have the space where you can then feed back and get the constant guidance from me on how to tweak it, how to tune it, how to make it yours. Because what's so important is that within this, you find your style. You learn how to do it, but you do that within a safe space. So you will have manuals, you'll have an 8-week course I've created for you that you can just copy if you want, or you can take that as a framework to then make your own and feed back to me so I can guide you through it and say, well, maybe you need to do this a bit longer or this a bit shorter, or I think this would work like this. Having run online courses for 14 years now, I think. 13, 14 years, I've had quite a lot of experience doing it. And having been working in this field, I've been working as a nutritionist for 21 years, working as a healer for 30 years. So I have to do the maths. It's always changing. So I've been in this field for a while and obviously developed my whole range of superfoods and my business. So I have a great knowledge of how to do that. So a big part of this, half of it is the actual tuning in and the deep connection, and the other half is the practical skills of how can I make a business for myself? How can I actually become an Earth Wisdom mentor and roll this out? And what is so exciting is there are no other Earth Wisdom mentors out there. So this is a brand new field, which is very much what people are after and what people are looking for. As the earth changes, people are wanting to get more back into their roots. They're wanting to learn how to forage, how to make remedies, how to look after themselves and support their health and well-being. And this is such an important part of the whole journey, is that empowerment of self. So this is really a living training. Part of this training, it's a very small group, so it will be very focused on what you want to learn, what you want to get out of this. And I'd like to take a moment, and I'd just like you to type in the chat, like, what brought you, what interested you to come on to this evening. So if you want to take a moment and just write in the chat, what was it that sparked an interest in your being about Earth Wisdom mentorship? We'll just wait whilst people type. I can see people busy typing away. What sparked that interest? What in you is feeling a call to the earth? I'm not sure, just wanted to know more. Brilliant. Great answer. A desire. Oh, hang on, they're all coming in now. Can't see. A desire for deeper connection and understanding of Mother Earth. Desire to feel more supported by the Earth and to share with others too. Beautiful. To love and appreciate our world and become part of its being. Beautiful. Although I feel very connected to the Earth, I feel I need a way in more. Brilliant. Previously studying with you and knowing the depth and brilliance you share in your teachings. The time is now. Beautiful. Oh, someone else has sent a bit. Can see myself doing small bite-sized one-off classes. Beautiful. So that was the thing for me. It's like, so often people said to me, I could never do what you do. And it's like, well, actually, you could quite easily. But in the small steps, we all start. We've all got our own way of doing things. And I do things my way. And what my goal has always been in my life is to empower people. When I trained as a healer many moons ago, I had a rule. I wouldn't do more than 7 healing sessions for a person in a space of time. And if they got to that point, I'd say, you now need to learn it for yourself, because you need to empower yourself. I'm not here to take on responsibility for you. Healing is a personal journey, and I'm happy to guide you and support you, but you have to take that action and not just receive in a docile way. It's nice to receive in a docile way sometimes, isn't it? We all want to lay there and just receive. But what I've always felt, from when I was, this was when I learnt healing when I was 14. I learnt how to do Reiki, and then just carried on from there. And what I really always felt is it's about empowerment. And we get so often in our society to a point where what we do is we just look to someone else to solve our problems. Just get handed over to you and you can fix it. And just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And that's not true healing. Obviously, we need guidance, and guidance is so important so we can take the next level. But we need to come back home to the truth of ourselves and the power within ourselves. And for me, that is the most important thing in our world, is that we learn how incredible we each are, like the magnificence of our being, not as carbon copies of other people, because we'll never be the same as everyone else. We're not meant to be. But our own brilliance. And so with the Earth Wisdom Mentorship, that's what we're developing, our own brilliance, so that we can shine in our own way. And I'm here to guide you to find that light through the earth, through coming home to our bodies and to the earth. I really see us all as cells of this earth. That's what we are. We're beautiful cells, and each one of us is so important as a cell in this earth. And so many of us are dimming our light because of fear of rejection, fear of having our head over the parapet. We've so many of us have had our head over the parapet before, and it's been chopped off. I had a session today, and that image came to me. It was like I stuck my head up and it was chopped off. And I'm sure many of us had that in previous lifetimes. And in this lifetime, we're like, oh my God, is it safe to speak? Is that going to happen again? And so it's finding that strength and those allies to support you to go, no, it's not going to happen again. I can stand up and I can be myself and I can shine in my fullest, because I have a whole host of people behind me. I have a whole host of plants behind me and trees. I mean, have you seen some of those trees? How majestic they are. The strength of those trees. If we have the strength of those trees behind us, who could stop us? No one. And that's what this is about. It's about getting the allies, developing that friendship so that you never feel alone again. And also that you're part of a community of other Earth Wisdom mentors who are all buzzing on Mother Earth, and buzzing on supporting us, each other, to shine their light. So within the Earth Wisdom Mentorship, as I said, you'll have the 2 trainings a month on the plants, mushrooms, trees, so and so forth. And then you'll have the development side of it. So we'll look at how to run a business. We'll look at how to facilitate community circles, how to deepen your ability, if you want to create earth-based products, how to guide retreats or workshops, whether it be online or in person, whether it be a day retreat, a weekend retreat, or a few-hour workshop. How to run one-to-one Earth Wisdom sessions, how to lead sacred ceremonies, whether that's a cacao ceremony, a full moon ceremony, whatever it is, and how to bring those plants, weave them into also whatever you're currently doing, whether you're working as a healer or a counselor or whatever aspect of your work you're doing, how can you weave the plants, the trees, the mushrooms into what you're doing to deepen your practice and deepen how you can serve others. When I was in Peru in April, it was very profound for me being in Peru. It was very much a leveling up for myself. And I went there with David Avocado Wolf on his retreat. And we did a lot of work with shamans in ceremony. And one of the most profound ceremonies was near the beginning. We had a fire ceremony and we were working with Mama Coca. And we had these 3 coca leaves and they're put together with this beautiful flower. And you say your intention, you blow it into the 3 worlds, and then you hand it to the shaman, who then prays over it and puts it into the fire. So I had my intention. It was kind of light and fluffy. You had to wait in this big queue, got up to the shaman, sat down and went to put my intention in. And as I went to put my light fluffy intention in, this intention just took over my whole being and it just washed through me. And the intention was that my life is now in divine service, and I offer up my whole being to be in divine service to the earth. And I just wept as that came through and blew it to the 3 worlds, handed it to the shaman, who prayed over it, put it into the fire, and then the hug he gave me. And I was just sobbing with the huge honor I felt, and also slight fear, to be honest, of like, shit, I've just handed my life over to be in divine service. What does that mean? Oh my God, what have I just signed up for? But also knowing deep down that ultimately that's what we're all here for, to be of divine service in whatever way that shows up. And so from there, everything that I've done since that point has changed in my trajectory, because it's like everything is about, how can I serve the earth? How can I be the most clear channel myself that I can give and share what the earth wants to communicate? So that's where this has come from, that deep desire to be of service to the earth. And within that, it's guiding people on knowing how to really do that for themselves and for others. I'm going to put a few people on the spot now that are in here. So anyone from my current Earth Wisdom mentorship want to unmute and briefly just say like a bit about your, none of them know that I'm going to ask this, a bit about your experience and like what you're learning from it.
I'll definitely go.
Amazing.
I'm unmuted. Yeah, no, it's changed my life completely because, well, so I knew what I was going to say. Now I don't. I mean, you're probably like one of the most knowledgeable people I know. And it's not just about learning how we collaborate with our environment around us. It opens up a completely new channel of communication, which I maybe knew was there, but I didn't have that encouragement and the information that you give us all the time as well. It's not just like in our sessions, it's all of the messages in between. Obviously I'm lucky because I see you as well, but you're constantly communicating how we can harness the power of everything that's around us in that collaboration. Because when you look at nature, it's like a miracle by design. It's an absolute effing miracle. You know, like the more you study soil, the more you study trees, the more you study crystals, you're like, oh, it's literally like this genius system that's self-supporting. Like reciprocity is a beautiful way to put it. And we are part of that. And our bodies is also an element of that by the design of how our bodies are designed to maintain and support itself in collaboration with the environment around us. So not only do we level up, not only has it like changed my own, my emotional health, my mental health, my physical health, And it all starts there. I mean, you can't control what's going on around you, no one can, but you can control how you interact and how you interpret, and where you're coming from. So not only like is it filling up the selfish needs, but the fact that you're sowing seeds with all of us and you sort of educate all of us, it now means I'm having those conversations with other people in real life, and I'm attracting people as well that are having those conversations with me. And so people are having, you know, these lovely interactions of, did you know that this can this, and do you know that that can that, and it's all about the self-empowerment, isn't it? So to be enhancing the study and doing this year as well, and hopefully getting to a point where I'm confident enough to be able to teach or be able to make a real impact on other people and influence other people, then you know, it's like passing on a baton, and it's just going to multiply. And like you say, the little lights coming on everywhere. We just want more people to light up, don't we? So yeah, I'm
Amazing.
super excited, and I absolutely love being your student. So sorry to ramble, but yeah, that's my input.
Thank you, sweetheart. And it's so beautiful watching you grow with it all and, find your way and sharing it. That's for me, this is what buzzes me up so much. We all can share this knowledge on. And as you said, it's the lighting up of the whole world. I just want the whole world to be these beautiful, bright sparks shining. And we can be, we really can be. Kerry, did you want to say something? You unmuted.
Yeah, just a few words. I love it when Max talks because
Um,
she says all the words, so I don't need to. Um, yeah, I love you, Max.
I love.
It's an absolute privilege being part of a community and a group that's supported so wholeheartedly by you, Juliet, and I have the pleasure to be part of that, and I'm really, really grateful for every single last drop of it. And it bolsters everything that I've always known, and it gives you that empowerment to be the person that you've always known that you are. And the growth is continuous, and it's substantiated by all the knowledge, and it continues to, at this age, just to provide that fire in your belly every single day. There's purpose in everything. We do get to share all of this. We get to apply it in our work. Yeah, it's magnificent work, and just to be part of the whole, and everything's connected, and it's just magical. And I love living in that magic, and I live in that magic every day, and this is just a big part of it. And our community is just really special. And it makes everything make sense.
Mm.
And so the journey just continues to be just magnificent, really. And it doesn't matter what's going on, because you've always got things that you can apply, knowledge that you can use, and you can go to the earth for its wealth of brilliance, and apply it all the time. There's always something that you can go to, and to just sit in the space of peace and quiet and harmony and love, with all of these tools, is where we all need to be residing. And so to share that and continue to learn, because every day is a school day and will always be until the last day, I am just really, truly grateful for our group and for the continuation of all of this. It's just brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you. I think one of the things that is super exciting, it excites me every month, is like whenever we come to the plant, the mushroom, the tree, whatever it is, it's always exactly right with what's going on in the world, what's going on, planetarily. And it's like I could never have planned it so well. Like I literally could never plan it that well. The earth steps in, and it's like, there could be something happening that's so random. And it's like, oh, we've got exactly the right plant that's going to support us through this. And everyone laughs about it because it is every time. It's like the so spot on. And literally no human being could ever plan it like that, because it's the earth that plans it. And so what I find for myself is that is so magic, is that I'm learning through this all. I'm deepening my relationship with the plants, and seeing other people's reactions to the plants. When we work with them, we're looking at physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. We're looking at all these levels of how we can really work with whatever it may be. And that is so important, because so often we just look at things on a physical, or we just look at things on a spiritual. We only look at things on one side, and so it's creating this deepening. And it's literally like you've got new best friends each month. You've got 2 new best friends to add into your toolkit, and sometimes you don't get on with one of those things. It's like, not sure about this, but then the next month suddenly it might slip in and you're like, oh, and it just integrates in. Max, you say you're normally a couple of weeks behind, aren't you?
And I still haven't fully embraced chamomile, but that will be probably in another week or so, and I'll go, wow. I'm always late with it, but I get there in the end.
And it's in the perfect timing. So, you know, you're creating your own materia medica, you're creating your own relationship, your own toolkit, your own, you know, personal friendships with these plants and mushrooms and trees and animals. So we start in February, and as I said, it's 3 Tuesdays a month, so it's the first, second, and third Tuesday of the month, and it's from 7:30 at night. The sessions are recorded. If you're doing it as a training, as an actual accreditation, you need to show up for 80% of them, because it is a training program. Obviously, extenuating circumstances sometimes kick in, so that will be looked at. There will be work to do with it, but not huge amounts, so that it is something you can fit into your day, your time. And there are meditations to do, so that you really connect. The deeper you connect with all of these things, the deeper your work goes. So, you know, however deep you want to connect into it will be what you can then obviously share with others. And that's why we do it also over the space of a year, so that you can have time to allow these things to integrate. So it's not a weekend course where you're then going out and, you know, healing the world, because that's not that true, I think, deep integration of actually our healing, because our healing has to be part of the whole journey. Because also when you share, we share from that space of, when I worked with this was what happened, this was how I felt. And you can hold it so much deeper for people when you have that personal experience. And you can learn how to make your flower essences, and you can learn how to make tinctures, and you can learn how to make all of these amazing remedies that you can then share with other people. Recently within it, or there's also going to be how to hold cacao ceremonies. Recently I ran a training on holding cacao ceremonies, and had such beautiful feedback from someone on, she had the manual, she was able to then use that manual to hold her own cacao ceremony, and the reaction she had was so beautiful from people. So that's such a lovely thing for me to know, that people are being able to take this out there. So I just, oh yeah.
Sorry,
Max.
I just wanted to say as well, while it was on my mind, like when I was hoping to go into some kind of like influential role in life where I would help other people, I just thought, oh, you know, become a hypnotherapist or a psychotherapist, and, you know, get couch time with people and stuff like that. I think the difference between that and a course like this for me is what you said about how it's really just empowering people to acknowledge what they already have inside them. It's just like, you know, you're pushing someone on a bike when they're learning to ride. It's like, no, I'm never going to need to do the pedals for you, because you can do it yourself. And, you know, I'll be around the block with you as many times as it takes, just to, you know, leave you to go on your way. And then, you know, with everybody, once you learn to ride a bike, you have the best time on it, right? Most people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how honestly, that's the difference for me. Just like the fact that everyone has that power, and it's, you know, the indoctrination normally is that we don't have any power. We need to take, use, and everything that helps us is external, but not really. It's all internal. It's already there.
Beautiful, thank you. That is the key. I think that's the center of this whole thing. Is it's all about that empowerment and connection and shining our light. And you know, when we work with rosemary, you don't even have to have rosemary there. You can call in the spirit of rosemary and have it fully in your body, behind you, backing you, supporting you. And that is such a powerful thing, because then that can support you to light up and to shine even more brightly. So the mentorship training, as I said, begins at the beginning of February. There is a special early bird rate up to the 27th of November. So the mentorship training is £8,000 for the year, but the early bird is £7,000. Now this can be paid over a year, over 18 months, and you still get the early bird as long as you sign up to it before the 27th. I want to make this as available for people as possible, but this is a lifestyle change. So this is a course, a training that is a real step into empowerment. So I'm really super excited about it. I'm going to open up, if anyone's got any questions about it, then please do feel free to ask me. And if anyone after this wants a call to discuss your personal needs, if this is for you, what you're doing and how you feel you could integrate it, or questions about that, then drop me a message and we can have a call as well. So does anyone have any questions? If you want to unmute, if you do, you don't have to type
I
it.
have a question. Hello.
Hello.
I'm new. I have a bit of a cold, but thank you everyone for sharing. My question is, it's kind of like a personal one, but it's just like I'm wondering, like for you, because I know that you're a mother,
Mhm.
and I'm wondering, because it's Mother Earth and we're connecting to Mother Earth, like, have you found that doing this has helped you in your role as a mother, or even to mother yourself? Or because it kind of feels like I'm being drawn to that recently. I've had a lot of like my son has autism, and there's been a lot of challenges in I'm solo parenting, and there's just been a lot coming up for me around being a mother and how to mother myself, and feeling that need for support. And that's, yeah, so I just wondered about that.
Yeah, so for me, I think really this work deepened for me when my son was in his autistic burnout and was really unwell, and I had to turn somewhere. I've always, you know, my work for over 20 years has been in the earth, but it shifted because I had to pull on different things more. I was like, I need more support. My mother's been dead since I was 21, so for a long time I haven't had a mother. My father died when I was 30. So the earth has become that amazing holding for me. And I don't think without that mothering of the earth, that unconditional love of the earth, I would have got through all the challenges that have come up, especially when dealing with my middle son's mental health. And now he's thriving, which is amazing. So, but I had to find that space to thrive within me for him to as well, because it's very easy to cycle each other into like a spiral of, you know, there's no word for it, but that like head exploding thing. And so having that ability to go, okay, Mother Earth, I really need you to hold me. I really need your help. I really need that mothering, that anchoring, that love. Because then the more we have that, the more it goes out into the world, to all we interact with. So I hope that kind of answers your question.
Yeah, totally. And like you just reminded me of an experience that I had actually, like it was a couple of years ago when I was in Ibiza, and I went to a place which I don't know if anyone's been, but it's Tanit's Cave, which is connected to the goddess Tanit. And you can't actually go into the cave anymore because, they've closed it off or whatever. I was just sitting on the rocks there. I got a few hours to myself. Someone was minding my son. And I went on this kind of adventure and got there and climbed down. And I was like sitting on the rocks. And like that, at a certain point, I just felt so held. And I just, yeah, was in tears. And I was like, I never want to leave this spot. Like it was really hard to leave
Yeah.
because it just felt like the rocks were literally supporting me. And it was so beautiful. So thank you for reminding me of that.
That's what a beautiful memory, and I think when we have these experiences, we can call on that because we've had that experience. And so we can bring that in when we need it. And, with the Earth Wisdom mentorship, it is deepening those connections with the earth so that we can have more of those experiences, and that experience can become more of our everyday. Doesn't mean we're not going to have crap days where we're like, I can't cope, but we can then pull it back quickly and go, hang on, I've got the tools, what do I need to do, come on, and we can come back to that space of centeredness and balance in a quicker way. So someone's had a question, who would it be accredited with, and is this the same for insurance, and why would we need insurance? So it's accredited through CPD, so you get CPD points, it's validated with them, and you get insurance through Balin's insurance. So why do you need insurance? Well, for anything you do nowadays, you need insurance, really. Unfortunately, if you're holding a ceremony, if you're making cacao, if you're offering any, if you're making products, if you're doing a one-to-one session with someone like healing, you need to have that insurance in case someone sues you. And so Balin's have gone through Balin's are an insurance company, a great holistic insurance company, and they've gone through all of the training and the manuals, and we've worked together to make sure that it does get that validation from them. CPD are continued professional development, and so they're an organization that for anything within the kind of holistic side of things, any trainings, if they're accredited with them, then they hold I'm not explaining that very well. They basically validate it and accredit it so that it shows that it's of a certain standard that they've approved. And if you've already got certain qualifications, you have to do X amount of CPD hours per year to maintain those certain things. And so this would count as that. So let's say you work for the NHS, you need continued professional development. So things that are approved by them means that you can do that. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Also, will holistic insurance cover it? Will holistic insurance cover what? Sorry, I don't understand what you mean by that.
It's an alternative to Balin's.
Oh,
it's another
okay.
insurance company.
I'm sure they will. I'll get in touch with them. I don't know that company, and what I'll do is I can just send them all the stuff, and then they'll validate it as well. So that would be, I'm sure that would be absolutely fine, because if Balin's have and CPD have, then that would be an easy thing for me to.
I also use holistic for my other work as well.
Okay.
So that would be really good to know.
Yeah, I've been with them since 1999.
Okay, amazing. Well, I'll get in touch with them, and I'm sure that would be an easy thing, because I've got all the stuff that Balin's and CPD needed to accredit it. So I'm sure that they.
The lady you need to talk to is Alison Livings.
Alison Livings.
It's her company.
Okay. Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
Alison, let me just write that down so I can. Alison Livings, holistic insurance. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that won't be a problem, because I had to go through quite a rigorous check with the others, so I'm sure that would be fine. Yeah, does anyone else have any questions that they would like to ask? You can speak them as well if you don't want to type them.
Okay. Do we actually meet up with you as well?
So it is online. However, I am going to be holding a couple of days within it that won't be mandatory for people, because some people aren't going to be in this country. So there will be some kind of additional days that you can come and then meet up with me, but it will be online. There will be an option for people, if they want to come and be part of events that I'm doing, to see how I hold space in physical person at a cacao ceremony and things like that. There's going to be that option to be able to do that. Also, as part of the training, everyone will have time to hold within the group their own plant meditation. So you get to practice within the group. Write your own meditation, hold it and share it with everyone so that you get that experience in person. And after the 6-month point, when you're students, depending on schedule and where you are, potentially I might be able to come and support you in an event, or you can come to one of my events and do a little part of it. So if you wanted to hold a meditation, once you're further kind of down the line, then that's possibility too. So there is the chance for physical interaction depending on where you're based. Any other questions? Well, thank you all so much. Oh, Sue, do you have a question?
You said the private group. What platform's that held on?
That's on Telegram.
Oh, okay, that's okay. I've been thrown off Facebook, so.
Okay. And what's great about Telegram is the group. I wonder if I can just share my screen and show you guys the current group. Hang on, let's just pull it up. Earth Wisdom Mentor. So, hang on. Share screen. Ooh. Do, do, do. So what you have, can you all see the Telegram? So what you have within the Telegram is you have a general group where you can post how you're getting on, what you're doing, and I'm not sharing the chats itself because there's private information in there. You then have the session replays. So in this part, all the notes from the session, so a summary of the session and the session replays are in there. And then you have the handout section where you have the videos from me and the handouts so that you get that side of it as well. So that it's very easy to find, there we go. It's very easy to find the different things you need. So if you're like, I want to go back to that meditation, it's very easy to find that meditation. If you want to find, you know, the replays, it's all laid out. So it's very easy for you to connect. So it doesn't get lost in lots of chats. And it's not in I did used to have it in a separate platform that you had to log into, but that's more confusing. This is quite easy to interact with, and Telegram is quite a secure space to be able to share things, uncensored things in. I just saw silly question. Where's your silly question? I haven't got a silly question. I just
Oh no, that was me. I deleted it because it was a silly question.
What was it? There's no silly questions. What was
It
your
was
question?
just saying, would I sort of be an Earth mentorship trainee kind of thing? It was just, but it's all right. I suppose I could call myself what I like. So, you know.
Yeah, so the qualification that you get from it is you become an Earth Wisdom mentor. So that would be the qualification. So when you're an Earth Wisdom mentor student or trainee, you could use that word whilst you're studying until you get your actual certificate at the end of it, your diploma, to say you have qualified within it. There will be, and this is kind of further down the line, there will be, I'm looking at developing an ongoing support after the year for people so that you don't just finish and are off into the dust. But that is in development, so I'm not going to say too much because I don't know the logistics, but there will be ongoing support for people if they want it. So yeah.
That's lovely. Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions? Well, thank you all for coming tonight and taking the time to listen. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the Earth Wisdom Mentorship. And if you would like a call with me to discuss if this is right for you, then do drop me a message and we can get that arranged. But it's been lovely seeing you all. And thank you to the students on here who shared their lovely inputs as well, and for all of you for sharing your energy this evening. Before we go, I just want to light some incense and give everyone, I was going to do this in the beginning. I made this really nice incense blend and then totally forgot to do it. So we're going to do it now to finish. We're just going to have a nice little smudging. With any course, one of the things that I do before I even put it out is I create a beautiful vessel for that course energetically, the space that everyone's going to be held in. And it's always been like a boat. I have no idea why, but this one is this beautiful, like, pit is the wrong word, but like, it's almost like a cave, but it's open at the top. So it's like a womb space. And in the center, it's a beautiful fire that goes up. So it's almost like a teepee, but that's built into the earth, like a cave, but that's open. And there are plants coming down from the top, pouring down, this light shining down the fire. And then there's carved out of the earth are these beautiful seats. So it's this round womb-like space. And so that is the space that the earth has created for this course. So whenever I do it, what I do is I create that space, and then I just visualize the people coming into that space who are meant to be there, and the energy and the outcome of what that space looks like and what that feels like, so that that's what you're coming into, a space that's already been created and that's been growing for a while. So to finish, I've just made this beautiful incense blend from some frankincense, some myrrh, some rosemary, some mugwort, some sage from the garden as well. So I'm just going to give you all a lovely smudge through the screen as you go up on your evening. And it was lovely to connect with you all. Lots of love. And yeah, do drop me a message. And I hope to be working with some of you in one way or another. Lots of love. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.